Well, good morning, world. And welcome to TeamODZ Live. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, Rick.
Happy Friday. Feeling nice and rested and refreshed today.
Rested and refreshed. I'm saying that at 4:50 in the morning without having practiced it in your head 3 times.
Yeah. Actually, there's 4 times, but
I almost said wested and refreshed. I can't even say it.
Did you do anything fun in Chicago yesterday?
I learned about automation, security, and what they've done in the office. So a bit of UC work as well. Very clever. Very clever video work. But at one point, we're in front of one video conferencing system, and a couple of guys went in front of another one with the presenter of the session. And, although there was only one camera at the far end, using facial tracking to edit out each individual person and present them as though they were in front of their own camera, zooming in and following each person.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. Very. I'm going to be off these rollers this morning. It's the second time I've fallen off them.
Ooh. Get ready to clip it.
Yeah, the thing is, if someone clips it on the ODZ page, I can delete it. Oh. I'm going to see if I can get a Gerrie tunnel configured today.
Is that the thing that sports teams run through on their way out onto the field?
No. An encrypted tunnel that you can pass routing and other traffic over.
That was going to be my second guess.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds for general routing and encapsulation. You do that as well. Generally, it's a precursor to IP-step encryption. Really missed racing with the team yesterday.
Yeah. How'd they do?
Started out with 6, got 3 across the line. So, time of those first 3 didn't really matter. There was a person that was 1.25 minutes behind them. And they got across the line, got the time. We had 4 until Alex had a problem.
This first 200 bit always makes me feel like, wow, it's going to be harder than I expected.
I know, right? Got into the first minute or so of it and I'm thinking, oh, I feel so much better after a day off yesterday.
Nice.
I don't feel like that anymore.
I'm just happy I got up this morning, considering my trend as of late.
I am too, otherwise I'd be doing this solo.
Yeah, I think that doing that tour of Watopia ride yesterday and getting racy about it, that helped me out. Sometimes I need to do that, and then I'm like, oh yeah, definitely gonna ride again tomorrow. I learned yesterday that, well, as I learn, every time I do it, that at this current point, my resolve is outworking my fitness.
The AC or DC current. Or RF current. It really is AC current, but it's just some weird stuff.
Yeah, I can't stand to lose a wheel.
Nope, you'd be on a unicycle if you did that.
Yeah, don't want to do that. That's for clowns. Yeah, I think I went up the epic climb at like a lowest heart rate of 180 the whole way. And then finally on the way down, I got arrested.
What do you do that for?
I don't know. Didn't want to lose wheels.
I mean, it wasn't a race.
I think my average heart rate was like 175 or something for the whole ride.
My average heart rate for a 2 time trial.
it was definitely, I mean, in that, on Thanksgiving when we had that time trial, that was, I did 3.9 watts a kilo. And that was, I don't even know if my average heart rate was that high.
Yeah, that's what I average in the team time trial. Like I said, my average is usually 175 to 177.
Yeah, maybe it was that high then. But yeah, yesterday it was, my average was 3.4, so it was down a bit.
Oh, you could have done better then.
I mean, there was a couple points where I could have been pushing harder, I guess, but
it wouldn't have
I
earned
did
you
win in
anything.
my group. No, I just would have burned myself out more. I spent half the day yesterday just kind of slumped over a little bit, having to remind myself to stand straight.
That's a really big spider that's walking across my floor right now.
Oh, hey.
It's walking away from me.
So
You
that
could borrow a
reminds me
chapstick.
of
Squish.
Megan's spider story.
Megan's spider story reminds me.
It was during one of the endurance rides. She was quiet for a little while, and then all of a sudden it's back on the chat and had a whole story of how this spider just all of a sudden came down next to her face, and she proceeded to freak out. Can't remember what she did, but she did something irrational involving an object. I can't even remember exactly what it was, but I think something was thrown.
I'll have to ask her to tell me that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this weekend, in between all the things I have to do, I need to figure out what's going on with the sound of my bike. Because it looks like next week's going to be outdoor riding time.
Yep.
Looking like solid 70s all week long. Pretty much all week.
Yep, same here.
We've made it.
Don't count your chickens.
Well, the week after is going to be absolute garbage. But next week is going to be amazing. Now, there's no way it gets to 70s in April and stays that way. That would be a whole lot of climate change right there.
Well, a friend of mine got married on April 26th. Went to his wedding, I was his photographer. And I get to the hotel that they were staying in the night before. And he's sat in the bar there with his bride-to-be. And he says to her, "Well, Jodie, this isn't meant to be. I'll send a sign." I opened the curtains the following morning, but it's snowing.
Yeah.
On April 26th.
That's too late. I mean, we did get up yesterday morning and the deck was super slippery because of all the freezing rain. But it switched over, or the forecast went from freezing rain to rain at some point during the day, and it was mostly rain, but there were spots. It was enough to make the deck slippery. And when I got to Orono, there was ice on the trees. None here though. Orono always gets, for some reason, it's only 9 miles away, but I think the elevation's like maybe 400 feet higher than here or something. I don't know. Something. It gets a little more snow for some reason. Might just be because it's a smaller city. Yeah, hopefully no snow though. Too late. I mean, last month, usually I guess the average in March for snowfall here is typically under a foot, if anything at all. And we ended up getting like just about 2 feet. Back to 185. Yeah, we ended up being a mild night. Wow, it's 72 degrees in here.
Walked outside here, I don't know what temperature it is. You know, put the cushion already.
This is gonna be one of those mornings where you can go out in a sweatshirt and feel fine. The birds are gonna be tweeting on Twitter. I have these bags of returnables in my truck, which I can now see because I parked by the side of the road yesterday. And I'm amazed that they've never been taken. Because we probably about like 2 blocks from here is park that has now become a makeshift homeless encampment kind of thing. And so I'm surprised that no one's really like gone to just grab them a little bit and see if they're rattling, but they continue to hang out there. Been meaning to take them back for at least a month now.
Yeah, I've got the stage where I've run out of storage space for all my cans. I'm just putting the empty cans that I've got now in and recycle trash.
What's the do you have redemption on cans and bottles there?
No, just take them to the scrap metal place.
Yeah, here it's 5 cents for every can and bottle. That, unless if it's wine or liquor, then it's 15 cents. So here it's money.
Yeah.
For breweries though, like as a brewery, we pay, I think it's like 8.5 cents for every can to cover that redemption cost, and then also to pay off the company that picks up the cans and the redemption center. But it does work. It's hard to find cans on the side of the road around here.
Yeah.
I mean, you find tons of other stuff, but not cans.
We'll see where we were for the ebb today, yeah? Gonna do the thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I restarted my companion app. It never gave you a write-up. There we go.
Thank you. Rolling Highland. 3 laps.
That's the one I haven't done before. Wait, why did I do that for?
I thought you got all of the Scotland badges.
Well, or I haven't done the finish on it.
Oh.
Or I've done it, but I haven't raced on it.
Yeah. Uphill finish. Hey there, Bonnie. Happy Friday, my friend.
Ooh,
Thanks
Gerrie's
for sharing.
join. Or at least he has put in his bid to join.
Double Bonnie.
Wow, feels like work today. It's amazing how now, like after putting in a way bigger effort than I have been, the next day I can wake up and feel all recovered until I get on a bike. Then I'm just like, oh, I'm a little more tired than I actually am. Yeah, I do wish that would have been streaming when that happened, when I did that race yesterday. That was fun. That finish. It was interesting because, I mean, I liked it. There was one guy, well, for the last, what was it? Maybe like 15 miles or so of, yeah, pretty much all the way through the jungle to the finish. We were in a 4-rider group, and there was one guy that, you know, every time we'd hit a hill, he would call out the power that he was going to do, which was all good. It was nice, kept us together. But then for some reason, for the finish leading into downtown, he announced what power we should do the whole way down the hill, which I was like, wait, there's like less than a mile left. I didn't think we were friends anymore. I thought now we were all working against each other. and this guy's calling out what he's gonna do. So I just kind of, like, I upped my power a bit to just about 5. But then all of a sudden I just launched out of there. I know when I looked down, I was doing a little over 10 watts a kilo. And I was like, well, okay, you guys can do 5 watts a kilo. I'm doing 10. And then
It's a
realized
multiple
part
of?
of the way that, what's that?
It's a multiple of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do 5 watts a kilo per leg.
Like, what are we all going to hold hands going through the finish line because we worked together on the last half of this race? I don't think so.
Did you switch bikes through the jungle?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a mountain bike. And then
Did you catch and pass any people who hadn't switched?
Not that I saw. We didn't really pass anybody. We were definitely like, it was our group and then a couple people trying to catch in the front. Doing a pretty good job, but then the rest were just like going. There was a lot of A's on that. There was also a lot of ones that weren't listed on Zwift Power, so that brought me down to, I made 24th place overall.
Right on the
when I
line?
took off, I saw, thanks Owen. When I took off, I saw a couple, they kind of picked up their power a little bit, but then there was one guy that he had been putting down some power a lot during it. And he actually ended up like giving it a really good punch and ended up in my draft. I thought he was going to catch me.
So you finished.
At that point, I had realized that I had started a little bit too early for how hard I had been riding. But then once I saw him gaining on me, I was like, okay, back at it. At least it felt like it. I always like watching those to see the difference between how I felt and how it actually went down. Sometimes I feel like I give it an extra push at the finish line and then I rewatch it and realize I just kept my power steady. Whew. Man, it is warm. But yeah, I felt pretty good after other than the whole almost throwing up thing. I stopped immediately after. And I was like, oh, all of a sudden it started coming on. And I was like, okay, I better get off the bike for this one. But I didn't. Just hung out over the sink for a while. And then felt fine. And then got into the shower. And I don't know how long I stared at a shampoo bottle, but it must have been a while.
What are the ingredients?
When I got out. I wasn't that close. It was across the shower from me. But I zoned out hard. And then spent my day kind of like that until I ate lunch. I ate my lunch and then half of one of my coworkers' lunch. Well, next week it's time to get back to real work again, huh?
Yep. Rinse and repeat. Same as the last one.
Tomorrow's Brewfest time. Luckily though, I found out I'm doing the first session. It'll be 1 to 4. So hopefully that'll be a little more tame. I think the night session is going to be a mess. Like the VIP tickets, these people pay like, I don't even know, I feel like it's somewhere near $100 just to be able to come in before there's a huge crowd and just essentially be able to drink more beer for an extra hour. And all it takes, from what I've noticed, is just even 1/16 of the people there to not know what their limit is and not know how to conduct themselves properly. And all of a sudden,
We're going to say the other way around. 1/16 of them do know.
It's hard to tell, really. Yeah, I haven't been to this Brewfest in like 5 years because I just didn't like it last time. It's the first Brewfest I'd ever been to where people were throwing up. And I was like, well, this isn't cool. This is just people showing up with the intention of getting smashed.
When I went to Splunk.com years ago now, we got to go in Universal Studios. It was just for us one night, and yeah, there were people throwing up outside rides.
Yeah, it really takes the fun out of it when you're trying not to gag.
But yeah,
And plus, from my standpoint, I'm only there because it's business. So if people are just coming to get hammered, that may work if we were a bar and they were at our bar. Actually, that wouldn't work either though. But that may work if I was some other bar, but it doesn't work when you're trying to actually get people to remember your product or to not be seen as like an industry that's just all about everybody getting hammered.
the Incredible Hulk ride was the first ride that me and one of the three of us went on. The third one didn't want to go on. He kind of hung around and waited for us. And that one surprised us. when you're going up the first incline and you're thinking, yeah, dum. We're going up here nice and slow, and then gravity will take over, and then we'll go fast. Oh, no. It doesn't work like that. Starts off on the climb really slow, and then it just launches you up this climb.
Oh yeah, because you're doing the Hulk punch, right?
You pull negative G's as you go over the top of the climb.
Ooh. Oh man.
Hmm.
Yeah, you got to be in the mood for that.
Well, I was in the mood for it, but it surprised me.
Yeah, negative G's when I'm not driving something. They just, I don't know, I guess they're not too bad. On a roller coaster, I'm expecting it, I guess, but probably not that much. Yeah, usually they do the whole, take you to the top and then stop you and let you just hang out there for a second and think about it. Not try to launch you out of the ride. Yeah, usually whenever I'm driving down a back road where I know that it has one of those, I hit the gas a little more. Then I just wait for Grace's reaction in the back seat. She's usually on her phone or something, not paying attention. There's also two spots on the interstate on 95. One as you're on your way to Augusta, the capital, and then another one in between Portland and the New Hampshire border, where for some reason the road decides to just dip down and then go back up again. But it's like a really smooth dip down, but then the top it's just like, whoa, pretty fun. This workout over yet?
Not for another 35 minutes.
Ooh, I only have 25. Well, 26. Where's Ufa been anyway?
Vietnam?
He's still in Vietnam?
No. No, he's not.
Maybe he's resting from Vietnam. Yeah, I asked because I thought about it yesterday. I was like, wow, I haven't seen him in a while. I hope nothing happened in that traffic. That's the part this time of year when I start to get ready to start riding outside that I don't look forward to. Getting back out amongst the traffic. All they do is try to hit me and make me mad.
Get a ride on Mike.
Ooh, sunny out. I was hoping it was going to be a sunny day. Spring break starts for Grace next week.
Oi, 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 oi. That's a broken spring.
But then he has like 1 week of school, and then we go to Florida. I feel like maybe it's 2 weeks. I don't know.
Next year we might be doing the Florida thing. Or graduate.
Yeah. When does she graduate?
When or where?
When? Oh, that's right. She's graduating in Florida, isn't she? I remember that.
Yeah.
Thought it was going to be like one of those Super Bowl things where it's like, you graduated, now what are you going to do? I'm going to Disney World. I did see something about that. Apparently, while we're in Florida, we're going to go to Aquatica, which is a SeaWorld water park.
Yes.
My favorite place. My favorite place in the world, I'm pretty sure right now. And this time I have flip-flops. That's important. Last time I went there, I did not have flip-flops. We were even at Cocoa Beach. And I was asked, do I want some flip-flops? And I was like, nah, I'm all set. I'm good.
What do you call a Frenchman wearing sandals?
Felipe Flop.
Philippe Flop.
Philippe Flop. But apparently like once noontime hits there in Florida, that pavement becomes like lava. And they have like
Flores
these little
lava, Flores
sprayers.
lava.
They have sprayers that come up and wet the sidewalk off for that reason. The only problem is that there's still like a good chunk of real estate you have to get across to get to each sprinkler. My feet were so burnt by the end of the day that day. It got to the point where if I couldn't go in the lazy river, the lazy river there is kind of like the transportation system where you can get into that and get off on your stop, you know, wherever you want to go. It just circles the entire place. And so when I wasn't in that, then the couple times I came back to the cabana, I was like asking Heidi if I could use her sandals if she was done walking around, which did not fit me, but they were better than the ground. But yeah, that place is pretty cool. Especially with the kind of heat that Florida gets that time of year. That's the best bet. I never did work up the courage though to can't remember what it was called, but that's those kind of slides where you stand in the capsule.
Yep.
And then they just drop the bottom out.
Yep. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt.
I was gonna do it, and then I actually got there, and I was like, "Hey, maybe."
Person before me got stuck in the loop on the way down.
Ooh, that's gotta be. That can't be fun.
No, it's kind of embarrassing.
Now you're just like, I was expecting to go. I had already psyched myself up. Now I have no idea when I might go. Did they pull them out, or did they eventually dislodge them?
I just gave them a push and got them around the loop. There's a hatch at the top of the loop.
Thinking maybe the other option would be to place your feet upon their shoulders and just give a quick hop, and then you're both going. Those things are a little intense for
Well,
them.
it'll be like the old Newton cradle. I'd get them going, but then I'd be stuck at the top. Waiting for the next person.
Yeah, those things, I don't know. I think the thing, because I was talking about it ahead of time, like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to do that. But then once I got there and actually thought about like how you have to cross your ankles because of the damage it may do to your bits, I was like, yeah, that sounds like it's just one step away from ruining my vacation. And there's so many rides there. So many rides that already felt kind of like they were pretty crazy. The ones I really like though are the big ones where you go on the big rafts, and then you just really have no idea what's going to happen next. There was one I convinced Grace to go on, which at this point she was pretty young and not really big on rides. And I was like, oh, this one, we'll all be going on a big raft together. And I was like, look at it, it's not that steep. And it really, I mean, it didn't look too steep. And as we're climbing up, she had a couple moments where she was like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, well, we're already up here. We got to do this, you know? And I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, once she gets on this thing, we're going to hit the bottom. She's going to be smiling ear to ear. She's going to be like, let's do it again. And so we get started. And we told the guy, don't give us any spins. Make sure we go off straight. Grace is a little nervous here. So he did. But then of course, once we got going, hit the first corner, the spin started. And then eventually we ended up in this tunnel where you could not see anything. And we were just like hitting the side and going way up. And eventually we hit a spot where there was like a quick flash of outside. And at that point I was way up on the top and I could feel the raft like leaving the side, and I'm just holding onto it. And I look down and I see Grace like directly below me with the most terrified look on her face and just a wall of water coming off of me and heading towards her face. And then it went pitch black again. And the next thing I knew, he came out in the pool and she was crying and she was everybody was consoling her. And then of course
Can she hear you telling me this story?
Was like, the attendant at the bottom was like, so did everybody have a good time? Like, come on now. That's not the time to ask you.
Yes, it was brilliant. I want to do it again.
Yeah, I remember that was just a moment where I was up so high that I was like, wow, this thing is definitely going to flip over. I had left the side, but I was holding onto the raft, so it was coming with me. And yeah, just that flash of her face, priceless. And just how high I was over her, just like looking straight down at her. That was pretty crazy. So yeah, so now she doesn't take any of my suggestions for rides anymore. But we'll see now that she's older. But yeah, even with not riding that many rides, Grace was super content just doing all the other things that there were there. And really, I could have just like gone in the lazy river all day long. Pretty much you just put on, it's like one where you put on a life jacket and then you just float on down the river. Then there's like little beachy kind of sections where you swim yourself over to those, and then you can just get out, drop off your life jacket and move on. That was a bus cop there that we just passed.
What?
A bus cop. It just says a bus cop.
Okay.
Maybe they work with the transit authority. Or it's their last name. Either one.
So, guy that drove us yesterday, he'd been quite sensible. He'd registered to park in this particular parking lot, just around the corner from the offices that we were going to yesterday. And having prepaid, it cost a little bit less. And he printed out this sheet that had a QR code on it. And we got to the parking lot, and he put this piece of paper in front of the scanner, and it did nothing. So I did it again, and it did nothing. So he's kind of getting a bit flustered by this point. So in the end, he just hit the button and got a ticket. We went in, we had our day. We got back to the car afterward, drive out of the parking lot, puts his QR code in front of the scanner, and it says, "This barcode has not entered the parking lot."
Oh, man,
So
that's rough.
he backs out of the exit place and parks up. And this is what one of the guys in the back of the van says, "Well, give me the sheet of paper. I'll walk around to the entrance. We'll go and scan it. Wait a couple of minutes, and then we'll exit." Good idea, he says. So he gives him a piece of paper, walks around to the front, and
It's too late now.
tries to scan the QR code. QR code reader reads it, but on the display it says "no vehicle present."
Oh, wow.
And then the woman comes over the speaker and she says, "Sir, you aren't in a vehicle."
That's awesome. Well, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, my friend's sarcastic side kicked in, and he says 10 out of 10 for observation, which didn't help the situation.
Yeah. At that point, it's like, okay, so where are you? So I can come and get this ticket approved here.
So,
Yeah, you.
in the end, he said, he explained the situation, and he said, "Well, aim and drive up to the exit thing and push the call button." So, does just that. Has to read the barcode off the ticket that he got from the machine when he entered, and the QR code, and he enabled the ticket so he could leave.
Yeah, I use Spot Hero a lot, and sometimes even when I don't need to, as I found out in a couple places.
Yeah, Cisco recommended that, but
But then
I'll let you
can
tell your story.
Use your phone. Then you can use your phone, which usually works well. But a lot of places just have it so that you go in, you get your ticket, and then you show them your Spot Hero reservation, and then they approve your ticket at that point. But then you have to find the office and do all that stuff, and it's kind of annoying. But yeah, my first time using Spot Hero was in Chicago. But then, like, when we were in Springfield, I got a Spot Hero spot, and then got to the convention center and realized that there was free parking at the MGM casino directly across the street. It wasn't on Spot Hero because it's free. I was like, huh, okay. But luckily, I'd only paid $6, so I was like, yeah, I'll just forget that one. I'll write that one off and pretend I paid $6 for the MGM parking garage. My favorite part about Spot Hero, though, is just how happy the parking attendants are to be there. They're always a joy to deal with.
well, in the town that I used to live in, or in the town next to the town that I used to live in back in the UK, there was a Tesco, a grocery store, in the middle of the town that had a parking garage on top of it. And, it wasn't just for Tesco, it was for anyone that needed to park in the town, really. And so, thing is, if you use it, you went shopping in Tesco, you present your parking card ticket when you check out. They'll give you 20 pence towards your parking. So quite often, you know, the computer systems in the parking lot would go on the fritz, and when they did that, the exit barrier was just up all the time. So I'd always look to see if the exit barrier was up when I went to park in there, and if it was, I'd get 20p for nothing. Because I wouldn't have to pay to go in, and I wouldn't have to pay to exit.
Yeah. Eventually, they were like, "Why are all these tickets going in but never coming back out?" So it only takes once to go to pay for your ticket and realize that the thing's up and be like, "Oh, it must be a free day," and then eventually catch on and be like, "Oh, okay, there's a problem here. Well, I'm driving out."
Yeah, so the exit was right next to the entrance, so you just take a quick look across, see if it was open. And you'd pay for your ticket before you went back to your car. So it was open when I went in. There was a pretty good chance it was going to be open when I came out.
Ooh, so yeah. So right up the street from the brewery in Orono, there used to be a hotel over there, and they sold the hotel to some tech company that is, I can't remember the name of it, but they tore the whole thing down and now they're rebuilding. They're going to build like a campus there. And this is like you can see it from the brewery, from like the outdoor seating. There's just a bridge separating us going across the river, and which has plenty of walkway. So yeah, they were talking about the other day on the news. I was like, huh, I bet this is something like kind of like where you work. But with this one, they're also, do they have dorms at all on yours at all?
On my what?
On your campus that you work at?
No.
That's one thing they will have in this, I guess, is like a dorm house for people traveling and stuff, I guess, that work for the company. But they're going to have, you know, pretty much all the amenities on site, like with like gyms and all that stuff. Sounds pretty cool. I might go apply. What experience do you have in the tech industry? Absolutely none. But I don't want to be a janitor.
Yeah,
that should be
one
good
of the
business for us.
One of the events, kind of like yesterday, that a friend of mine who visited, he was telling us yesterday. When you register, you put your job title on the registration, and they print that and put it on your little lanyard card. You put janitor.
They really want me to learn as much as I can about the industry that I'm cleaning for. Nice. But yeah, it looks like it'll be smaller than what the place that you work at is. But like, you're gonna have like multiple buildings and, you know, meeting areas and like a restaurant probably.
Rick, my employer's global.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, this one is too. This is just gonna be like a little offshoot of wherever. But they chose Orono for some reason right there, which is perfect because we got all right business from the hotel that was up the street, but I feel like we'll get more with people being there long term, with all the people that work there coming down and having drinks after work. Should help grow our wintertime business and our when the school goes on vacation. there's a good portion of our clientele is the university. And of course, a lot of the professors and administration and stuff, they stay around all, through those vacations. But once all of the students leave, it's like, it does take a chunk out. Makes the place a lot quieter, that's for sure. There may still be the same amount of people in, but it's a lot quieter. Then usually all the master's students and stuff, then they stick around the whole time. We have pretty much for our regular clientele, we have a mug club, and we had to cap it off at 200 mugs. And now we have a waiting list of over 100 people waiting to get mugs. So the regular clientele is important. We definitely get a lot of that. Oof. Ooh, it's Friday.
It is.
Next week's gonna be interesting though. Those first bits of warm weather, the energy level goes through the roof. I get later bedtimes. I'll probably be tired by the end of next week. Worth it though.
Days will you be away?
What's that?
How many days will you be away?
When? Oh, when
You
I
go to Florida.
Oh, that's still a ways away. I'm just talking about the 70-degree weather here.
No.
Next week. Because all of a sudden at work, the doors are going to be wide open. We're going to be working practically outside at that point. You got to do the work from outside as much as possible. The whole start something and then stand back outside. That involves hanging out on the deck. So then usually involves, whoa, I was supposed to be home half an hour ago. And then I'm full of energy. So then it's 9 o'clock and, oh, I was going to go to bed right now. But that's pretty much what I did all last summer. And managed to ride a lot of miles. Ah. It's the best part of the workout.
40k as well. For the end of the workout this year.
Wonder if Gerrie's actually going to join. I sure do hope so.
Yeah.
How much of a climb is that finish on the Highland Loop?
Percentage wise, I don't know.
Now I'm starting to dissect things. Starting to think, oh, maybe I should have use a lighter frame with the arrow wheels. Sometimes I get wrapped up in that when I should just push the pedals as hard as I can, and then it works out well. And pull them. Gotta pull them too. I can't believe it. Not a single chat today. This entire stream was just left with mostly my thoughts.
There you go.
Oh, thanks. There.
Excellent.
Are we going further?
You need to restart RTX audio on.
Now it's good. Maybe.
There we go. Workout over. Two for me. Still angry snake hissy thing. Thank you everyone for joining us on the stream here. We'll be back with a Friday Urban in about 10 minutes time. Until then, take care. We'll see you shortly. Bye for now.